Welcome from the Scottish Highlands. We are at Loch Effric right now and we are hiking the Effric Hinterway from Cannock to Morwich. So we're going to reach Glen Effric today and then we will hike through it. And that's the plan actually. Yeah, yesterday we had pretty bad weather, so we decided to film on our smartphones. I got the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, my brother he got the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, and we could take some very cool shots up there in the fog. We're actually filming on the Sony A7IV right now, and we want to compare how dynamic range, lock footage and all that cinematic stuff compares on the smartphone versus on the camera. It's kind of a in the field test of our gear. Camera is recording in S-Log 3 and on the Sony smartphones we are recording in the Venice profile, both in 4K 30 frames per second.
We had stayed at the Glen Effric Hostel, a former stalking bothy that is only open from April to September. Although we were traveling off-season, we were able to find shelter in an incidental facility. That was a lucky coincidence, because overnight a storm had been building up. The harsh wind pushed the breath out of our lungs, while the rain soaked us to the bone. We had left the lakes and the woodland behind. Snow-capped mountains guarded the trail as we made our way through the glen.
So, it's finally conclusion time. The question was, can a Sony Xperia smartphone replace a Sony Alpha camera? And I think what is great about this phone is that it's handy, it's waterproof, you can take it out of your pocket, take the shot in stormy conditions, in rainy conditions, when it's hailing, basically anytime, whatever happens, the phone is with you, you take it out, you take the shot. Also, it can record 4K 120 FPS, which is not possible on the Sony A7IV we are filming on right now, so that's also impressive for a phone, I would say. What is not so great about the phone is that compared to the camera, it has poor dynamic range, the autofocus is not as good, the color depth in the Venice profile is not as good as the color depth in the S-Log 3 on the Sony A7 IV. So overall, the performance is not as good. What I would like Sony to include in this phone is an intervalometer, so that you could also shoot time lapses on the phone, which you cannot right now. And also it would be great if Sony would provide for an attachment for a variable ND, because on a camera you can simply screw the variable ND onto the lens, and on the phone you need a special attachment. I got one, but I had to import it from the United States, and I think it would be great if Sony would provide that. Overall, the smartphone, it's an add-on right now. There are some important features missing I'd like Sony to include. It can record 4K 120, which is great. It is small, it is handy, it is waterproof. You can take it out of your pocket, take the shot, use it as an add-on to your existing camera setup. So yeah, it's a great phone, but the camera, it's still so much better for filmmaking than the phone.